Hey guys, welcome to Alice and Anna. My name is Anna, and today I'm doing all the frequently asked questions that we get about UAL. I did a video, I don't know when it was, but it was last year, and it was what to expect when you go to UAL. And I talked a lot about my experience in UAL as a general thing. And since then, a lot of you have reached out to us and asked a lot of very specific questions, and more than one has been repeated by very different people. So we figured we would make like a part 2, frequently asked questions. So, here we go. So I think the first question that we get all the time is not very much about UAL, but it's most about like London. And it's how much do you spend a month in London? And this is very hard to answer because we're all very different. I'm very cheap. I'm someone who would rather just drink at Wetherspoons, which is like a local franchise pub, than actually drinking at a pub because that will save me like a lot of money at the end of the day. But some people prefer actually going to like authentic pubs that are like in the corner or something, that are tiny and all those things. So it really depends. Where you shop for your groceries can also depend and increase your budget or decrease your budget. For like you can buy your groceries at Iceland, or you can go up to like Waitrose, Whole Foods, like super expensive brands. So that also depends. It also depends where you live, because you might also have to do like a travel card, or a travel card for zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. There's so many things that affect that. So I can't really say like, oh, you'll be spending around this. But in my case, that I'm like a little bit cheap, but I do eat out a lot, I spend, I would say, around 400 to 500 pounds a month. And that's just like transportation, food, any extracurricular things like, oh, I have to buy a pen, my phone bill, my utilities bill, my music bill, and I think that's about it. I'm not including rent there, of course. No. It's London. It's expensive to breathe here. But again, this could increase or decrease depending to you. I love walking absolutely everywhere, so my transportation fees is nothing really. The next part, and actually feeds into this question, is how much do you pay rent? Now, I'm not gonna say how much I pay rent just because that's a little too personal. So I'm just gonna give a few examples. Let's just say that you live in a flat with 3 people and you live in Angel. You would be paying more or less this amount per week. But then if you live like in the city center in Bloomsbury or in Kensington, then you would pay around these prices per week. So it's very difficult, it's very up to you. I also get the question about where should I live the first year, or should I just like rent something right away, should I go into accommodation? I recommend going into accommodation the first year just because you're going to meet a lot of people that way as well, not only in your course but also from outside your course, so that is absolutely great. But you also get a sense of the area that you're in a safe environment, because if you're new to London, that is going to be tricky to navigate that, so I definitely recommend that. So some accommodations could be like 150 a week and some can be 600 a week. I have seen accommodations that are 600 a week, so there's something for everybody. The next question we always get is UAL worth it? Well, it depends. It depends because it's all about who you are as a person. If you need a lot of instruction, if you need a lot of time on campus, probably not. If you're very independent and you like learning new things on your own, probably then it is worth it. The next question that we always get kind of also feeds into this, so it's how practical is the course? So I can only speak for my course and Alice's course, who I get to see what she works on, and then our foundation course that we did together. I have to say, I don't think I've ever heard that any UAL course is not very practical, and bear in mind, all the facilities that are available in each campus are incredible, so I very much doubt there is a course that is very theoretical and not practical at all. It depends, because in film and TV, we may not have access to this TV studio year round, but we do have access to the kit room, which you can rent out cameras and LED lights and all these things, so you can do stuff outside of uni without having to pay for equipment. So that is already like a plus, right? However, there is a lack of organization that makes it very hard if you need instruction to follow through and to make the most out of it. Like, if I'm gonna do a short film, I will probably go into the library and, research, and then go to the dark room and develop film that I'm trying out to see the aesthetic. I can do all those things, but that is very independent. And I'm getting my money's worth by doing those things, but I don't know how to explain it. UAL is very independent study based, as I think most English universities. Keep that in mind. If you really need like a strong regimen, someone babysitting you, then I don't know if it would be worth it for you. We always get this question about scholarships. I talked a little bit about these in the video of like what to expect when you go to UAL. That is up here. But scholarships are very limited. They're very focused towards fashion. And for example, I didn't qualify for absolutely any scholarship, so I couldn't apply to any, and I think that's the case for a lot of international students and a lot of students who aren't studying fashion. So there is a link that I will have down below with the scholarships that you just you click on whether it's undergraduate, an MA, what course you're gonna do, or like what school you're gonna be in, so like the screen school, the media school, all those things. I think you also click on whether you're international or home EU student, and that will give you like the options that you have, mostly coming up with 0, so that's sad. A big question we always get is, does UAL have placements and do they like get you a job basically? UAL doesn't give you a job. They have workshops where you sign up and you go and they help you prepare your CV, they help you prepare for interviews, which is absolutely great. But they're not gonna solve your life. They're not gonna be like, okay, you go and work for Netflix now, let's go. That just doesn't happen. I've heard of friends who've had to do a placement because of their course requirements, and they have to find their placements. Even though they do help you, they do not guarantee absolutely anything. I don't know if that's something that's written in the course structure, but they don't, it is up to you. You have to go out for it, you have to go look for it. They help, but they don't facilitate it. Another question is the requirements for your course. In that sense, we cannot help at all because every course could be different. Like MA has a different requirement than BA, and BA has very different requirements from foundation. So if you go down to your course specification, the one you want to apply to, it says course requirements. You just click on there and it tells you everything that you need to know. I think there's also like a list by country, so you would say I'm from Mexico, perfect. If and you see what qualifications that are given in Mexico, so like bachillerato, is it does it qualify or does it not qualify for that course? Do you need something else? Do you not need something else? You can also just email any UAL information page and they're probably gonna love helping you because they want you to apply and they want you to get in. A question that kind of feeds into like the way previous point about like money and scholarships and all those is, can you manage a part-time job? Yes, you can. It is quite tricky, I have to say, with courses like mine where they're not very the days change. So like week from week, I don't know what my schedule is gonna look like. But for example, in Alice's course, there's a video that she actually made about what it is to study design for art direction in UAL, which is linked up here. And she has a very set, timetable. It's every day. She knows what's happening week from week. We don't know that well, so it could be kind of tricky, but there's so many jobs that you can work on the weekends, or you can do like a 0-hour contract part-time thing where you only get paid for the amount of hours that you do, or you could do freelance. All this is super manageable, depends on how rigorous you are, how much independent study you do, and how good you are at time management. So that's basically it. Every experience can vary. I know friends that had a job and it was really hard for them because they were doing a lot, and I have friends that are doing like a full-time job. So it really depends, and it's completely up to you and what you like and what you can handle, and that is okay. Okay, so the last 2 questions. The first one is, how are the other campuses? And I have to say I can only talk about like physical aspects because I haven't, been with the people that go to those campuses or anything. CSM is a beautiful campus. Camberwell, I think it's okay. It's like quirky. The LCF ones are like pretty old, but I think they're about to open a new one or something, but there's like 5 of those. I've never been to the Wimbledon one, And LCC, it's pretty old, it's patched up, but the facilities are great. So there's kind of like a charm to it. I think it's just because I'm there. I think I'm biased and that's it. But I don't know in terms of like what the environment is like except for an LCC, because I did my foundation also there. So I can't really speak to that. I'm very sorry. But LCC is great. The people are super chill. The staff is super chill. And I think out of all the campuses, it's the least like quirky one. So if you're like not so quirky, it's a great environment. But at the same time, depends on what courses you want and what is available at LCC. The last question is freshers page. So how do I join a freshers page? Well, there are so many. There's like WhatsApp groups, there's so many things. I joined 3 freshers group. One in my residence hall, one for LCC, and then one for film and TV course. And the way you find them is that you basically just type on Facebook UAL freshers or LCC freshers. I used to live in Manash, so Manash freshers, and you put the year that you're currently in, and you just click join and you automatically join, and there's so many people. You can even start your own group if you want, make it public so everybody can join into your Facebook group. I did not do all that, so I don't know. Please don't ask me any of that. But yeah, that's the way that you find those groups. There's and then from there it kind of just grows. There's also UAL freshers, and you also put the year that you're in, and sometimes they create like text chains and all those things. I didn't join that, but I know that a few people did, and it was great. They met a lot of people. A lot of events are happening in freshers, so like they sell like wristbands, and there's, which is like covers all the events of the, you know, the freshers week. So yeah, it's a great way to meet people, but those are the ways that you can get into it. If you don't like that, there's also like a lot of activities at your residence halls and at uni. So, you know, those are all the questions that we usually get. We get more, and if you have any more, please comment down below in the comment section, and we can make part 2 of this video where I can talk more in depth about this. Please leave a like or subscribe, because we upload every Monday and Thursday, and you would probably not want to miss those videos out. So thank you so much for watching. Happy Monday. Goodbye.